Welcome to this video where we're going to be talking about how to heal the money blocks that you notice. So the next time you notice yourself believing something that is untrue about money, I invite you to pause and consider where that thought might have come from. Trace it back to as close to the original source of that thought as you can find. And then understanding where the belief comes from can be very helpful in releasing it and transforming it, aka choosing a new thought that serves you better. So once the thought is noticed, ask yourself, can this thought once the thought is noticed, you're going to ask yourself, is this thought true? Is there evidence that contradicts this thought? And then ask yourself, can this thought be changed? If the thought is not true, can it be changed to something that is true? Can you decide to think a new thought about money? Remember that all a belief is a thought repeated over and over that has some kind of emotional attachment to it. And we can change anything and everything about what we believe by just choosing a new thought repeatedly. When you decide to shift your thoughts and beliefs about money, be sure to change them to ones that your brain can accept. For example, if you are struggling to pay your bills and there is genuinely more month than there is money in your bank account, then telling yourself, I am rich and abundant, there's always enough for me, my bills are paid on time, I have enough for my wants and needs, your brain may have a hard time accepting that new belief. And that can actually make it worse for yourself. It can make it harder to get through that unconscious belief because your brain is like, no, I know that's a lie because look at the evidence, look at the bank account. We're in the negative today. And so screw you. I am not wealthy. There is not enough to go around. I have the evidence for it right there. Sometimes going from a reality that is here to a reality that we want to be way over here. So over here is there is clearly not enough to go around. I'm broke. And then over here is there's enough for everybody and I am financially abundant and wealthy. That's sometimes too big of a jump to make in one single bound. And so what I use is something called bridge statements. And bridge statements are really helpful in reprogramming the brain to believe what you choose to believe. A bridge statement is going to start with something like, I am choosing to believe, or I am willing to see, or I am open to the idea of blank. So it creates a bridge. So we're not trying to jump from one side of the chasm to the other. We then have a bridge that we can walk slowly from one side to the other. And we can give the brain something to catch onto that is believable. Because when we try to jump too far in shifting our mindset, sometimes repeating those positive affirmations over and over can actually have the adverse effect, and it can start to create cycles of shame and guilt and unworthiness in us because we don't actually believe the new affirmation that we're saying to ourselves, which is what we don't want. We don't want more shame, guilt, and unworthiness. That's what we're trying to release. So using a bridge statement, and I'm going to give you some example here. Let's see. So changing our thoughts shouldn't mean that we feel like we're lying to ourselves, and it's okay to take baby steps when we're writing these new neural pathways. So instead of let's just go back to the situation where we're broke, okay? We don't have enough for our bills. Instead of saying, I am abundant and prosperous, try something like, I am open to seeing and witnessing the evidence of abundance in my life. It's I'm open to seeing this. I might not believe it right now, but I'm open to trying. Simple perspective shifts done repeatedly over time can change the subconscious foundations that built the way you believe and behave about money. And changing your thoughts about money will help you make decisions that reflect what you truly want out of life. Getting what you truly want instead of what your unconscious or subconscious is telling you what you think you can have. So to heal your money stories, you got to get real about the relationship between yourself and money. And to do this, I like to imagine that I'm in a relationship with money. If money was a person that I was in a relationship with, what would that relationship be like? Is it a healthy relationship with respect, equal give and take, and healthy boundaries? Or is it full of disdain, distrust, a desire to never need the other, I hate that you're even here, I hate that I need you. And then asking yourself, like, are you willing to work together with money to create a better life? Or do you find yourselves just constantly fighting with each other? So in thinking about yourself in a relationship with money, if money were a person, what would you say to money today? And do this like unfiltered, unabashed. If money were a person, what that you were in a relationship with, what would you say to them? Would you say something like, you're always there when I need you. I'm so grateful for you. You always just take care of me. Like, I just love having you around. Thank you so much. Or would your relationship with money sound more like, it's like there's never enough of you to go around. You're always spread so thin. You're so fickle. One minute you're here and the next you're gone. I don't trust you because you're never consistent and you never stick around very long. So back up a little bit and think about what you would say to money if you were in a relationship with it. Because the truth is, you're already in a relationship with money and you're already having these kinds of conversations with money. What are the conversations like? Is the energy there healthy and clean and balanced, or is it otherwise? Ask yourself, if I were money, would I want to be in a relationship with me? If I were money, would I feel like I was being treated well by being in a relationship with someone like me? Would I want to get closer to me if I were money? Would I want to spend time with me? Right? You get to decide if the relationship is healthy and mutually beneficial or not. That's up to you. Money's not going to do that work for you. You're the one with the energy and the power to change things here. Money is just a tool. It's just a resource. It's a reflection of energy, and you get to decide what to do with it. So, another tip to clear money blocks. So getting aware and getting real about how you actually feel with money, and then changing and healing what needs to be changed and healed there, I think is the first step. There is this author that is really cool. She's written several books. They're on Hay House. Her name is Denise Duffield Thomas, and she has built multiple 7-figure businesses. She is an incredible entrepreneur who teaches about money blocks and how to heal and get through those. And these are her suggestions for how to clear your own blocks regarding money and abundance. And I highly recommend her book, Get Rich Bitch, to learn more about this. So let's go through this. There are a few other books that I'm going to recommend too, but let's go through what Denise Duffield Thomas has to say about this. So she says, number 1, cultivate awareness, which is what we just talked about. Write down your biggest money blocks when you become aware of them and go through the list, taking time with each one and asking yourself, is this really true? Most likely you'll discover a lot of self-sabotage hiding out in that list. I did. Okay, so step 2 is find your sabotage. Hunt down any sabotaging behaviors and notice where you're hiding away and feeling guilty. Look for a tendency to procrastinate launching or otherwise sabotaging your success. So find the ways that you sabotage yourself in your business. Do you hesitate to post about open sessions that you have? Are you reluctant to tell people about Reiki and what you do? Are you allowing imposter syndrome or some kind of other self-doubt to hold you back from doing that workshop or going to that conference or just talking with that person in the grocery store about hey, is your shoulder hurting? I can tell your shoulder's hurting. Okay, notice where your sabotage is and how that comes up for you. So number 3 is uncover the origin story and break the pattern. So that means going back to childhood or wherever that origin story came in for you, wherever that belief came in about the money, and connect it to sabotage and use a pattern interrupt to break through the limiting belief. So she goes through an example. So let's just take the origin story that money doesn't grow on trees. It's something I heard a lot growing up. And how we would connect that to sabotage is, for example, you resist easy money, like creating passive income, because money doesn't grow on trees. You have to work very hard for money. So money can't be made in an easy way. A pattern interrupt would be thoughts like, why not me? Why can't money be easy to make? Why can't I make something once and then let the money pour in for me? Watching other people succeed easily is a great pattern interrupt for this particular money block. Surround yourself with inspiring people in groups and masterminds on your social media. Like, get around different energy, get around different people. When you find someone who money is easy for them, money does come easily for them, hang out in their sphere for a bit. Like, grab onto that energy and see what it would feel like to live that way for yourself. So, start to recognize your own money blocks and how they are sabotaging your business. Remember that you are the one in charge here, not money, and you get to decide what thoughts and beliefs and behaviors are going to drive your business forward. You always hold the power. You are always in charge. You are the creator. So go create what you desire intentionally instead of what you are unconsciously fearing. You got this. You so got this. Another great book that can really help, actually a series of books, is by Jen Sincero, and her book, You Are a Badass at Making Money, is one that I've listened to multiple times, and I highly recommend that. Go check that one out. Another great one is called The Jackrabbit Factor. There are a bunch of them. There's so many books on this topic, and so go find the one that resonates with you. I would recommend starting with Get Rich Bitch and You Are a Badass at Making Money. Apparently I like the ones that swear in the title. Those ones call to me. So you guys got this. Remember that you are in the power seat, you're in the control seat, and you get to decide what you believe and what you create. Go do it.